All right, let's dive into something that might just change the way you think about money forever. We're talking about a super simple, data-driven way to build wealth without all the usual stress. It all comes from Nick Maggiulli's book, Just Keep Buying.
So let me ask you a question. We're all told we need to be clever, right? To outsmart the market, to find that next hidden gem. But what if that's all wrong? What if the smartest thing you could possibly do with your money is
not smart at all? What if it's actually simple, repetitive, maybe even a little bit boring? This idea, as weird as it sounds, is the key to a much less stressful and, according to the numbers, a much more effective path to your financial goals.
And the answer comes from Nick Maggiulli. Now, you got to understand, he's not your typical financial guru. He's a data guy. He runs the blog of Dollars and Data, and he doesn't care about stories or hype. He looks at the hard numbers to figure out what actually works.
And this quote, it just nails his entire philosophy. Building wealth isn't about some dramatic, heroic move you make in the market. Nope, it's about setting up a system based on facts, tuning out all that emotional noise, and just letting the system do its thing. It's all about consistency.
So how do we actually do this? Well, Maggiulli breaks it all down into a few core rules that pretty much bust the common money myths that cause us so much stress. Let's tackle the first one.
First up, saving. Look, forget about trying to hit some perfect 20 or 50% savings rate right out of the gate. That's just stressful. The advice here is way more practical. Start with an amount you can actually afford, then automate it so you literally can't forget. And here's the secret sauce. Every time you get a raise, you bump that automated amount up.
And this gets right to the psychology of why this works so well. Trying to cut every little expense, the daily coffee thing, it just drains your willpower. It's totally exhausting. But setting up an automatic transfer, that takes like 5 minutes, one time. And then the system does all the heavy lifting for you, month after month. It's effortless.
All right, rule number 2 is all about debt. We're kind of taught to fear all debt, but the book says, hold on. There's a huge difference between good debt and bad debt. Good debt is when you borrow for something that can grow in value or boost your income, like a mortgage or an education. Bad debt, that's the stuff you want to avoid, high-interest credit cards or loans for things that just go down in value.
Okay, now for the big one, the question that ties everyone in knots, market timing. Imagine you suddenly have an extra $12,000. What do you do? Do you invest it all right now, or do you play it safe and drip it into the market over the next year? What does the data say?
Well, the answer is surprisingly clear. Looking back at history, investing all of it at once, that's called lump sum investing, beats spreading it out about 2/3 of the time. And the reason is simple. Markets generally go up over time. So every day your money is sitting on the sidelines is a day you could be missing out on growth.
But, and this is a really, really important but, the best plan according to the data isn't always the best plan for a real person. You have to be honest with yourself. If the thought of putting all that money in at once is going to make you lose sleep at night, then it's the wrong plan for you. The best strategy is always, always the one you can actually stick with when things get a little rocky.
So when you put all of these ideas together, what do you get? You get a simple, repeatable, and kind of boring recipe for building wealth. This is where we turn all that theory into a real action plan. And here it is, just 4 simple steps. 1, we already talked about it, automate everything. 2, keep it simple. Choose low-cost, diversified index funds. Don't try to be a stock-picking genius. 3, keep your short-term cash, like an emergency fund, separate from your long-term investments. And 4, don't obsess. Just check in and rebalance your portfolio maybe once a year. That's it.
And while you're doing all this, please remember this powerful idea. Being smart with your money is great, but your energy is probably better spent on the other side of the equation. Focusing on growing your income, getting a raise, learning a new skill, that's going to have a way bigger impact on your wealth than stressing about a few small purchases.
Okay, so that's the long-term strategy. But you know what they say? The best plans are useless if you never start. So let's make this super real. What can you do today to get the ball rolling?
Here is your immediate action plan. And notice the magic word here is one. Don't try to do everything at once. Just set up one automatic transfer. Pick one simple fund. Start building even a small emergency cushion. And then brainstorm one thing you can do this month to work on your income. It's all about just getting started. Because when you take these small, consistent steps, you're tapping into the most powerful force in all of finance. You're setting the stage for compound interest to take over and do the really hard work for you over the years and decades to come. And that brings us right back to the core message of this whole philosophy. This is really the main thing to remember. Stop waiting to make that one perfect, heroic, get-rich-quick decision. It's not coming. Real wealth, the kind that lasts, is built quietly by hundreds of boring, disciplined choices made over a long, long time.
So, at the end of the day, your greatest asset isn't some secret knowledge or a genius-level IQ. It's time. By starting now and just being consistent, you give yourself the most valuable resource there is. Your real superpower is your patience, to just keep buying and let time work its magic.
So I'll leave you with this final thought. Forget about some grand 5-year plan for just a second. Based on everything we just talked about, what is one small, simple, maybe even boring, financial habit that you are going to start this week?